Video uploaded by the Ukrainian president's office shows people boarding buses in the besieged eastern city of Sumy in the first evacuation from a Ukrainian city through a humanitarian corridor agreed with Russia. Moscow said it had also opened corridors to evacuate people from Kyiv, Chernihiv, Kharkiv and Mariupol. But the Ukrainian government accuses Moscow of shelling a route intended to allow residents to escape the besieged southern port of Mariupol. In Mariupol, hundreds of thousands of people have been sheltering under relentless bombardment without water, heating or power for days. President Zelensky says the people in the city were in a desperate state.
For the first time in dozens of years, for the first time probably since Nazi Germany invasion, a child died from dehydration in Mariupol. Listen to me, today, dear partners, a child died from dehydration in 2022.
He also accuses Russia of mining the road that was agreed to be used to bring food and medicines to residents. British Defence Secretary Ben Wallace says Russian forces are not making much advances after 13 days of invasion, and President Putin is getting more desperate.
And what we've seen is, yes, a number of the cities have been effectively encircled, but when Russian forces try and enter, they are either repelled or they only manage to take a small part of the cities, suffering very large casualties. So Russia is not getting its way at all, despite its overwhelming forces.
The Defence Secretary also says Britain would support Poland if it decided to provide Ukraine with fighter jets, but warned that doing so might have direct consequences for Poland.
But I think, it's a big responsibility for the President and the Prime Minister of Poland to make that decision, because Russia could retaliate, and so it really has to be their decision.
Videos posted on social media showed the destruction on the streets of Ukraine's second-largest city, Kharkiv, after Russian airstrikes on Sunday. A shell crater was found among the rubble.
At 18:30 yesterday, an airstrike hit the area next to the Kharkiv region's prosecutor's general office. There is a new residential block next to it. Thank God no one died, but there are wounded.
At a hospital in Kharkiv, a patient in a wheelchair with a leg wound said she was wounded by shrapnel on the 25th of February, the second day of Russia's invasion.
My brother and I came to give blood, and we were shelled. The blood transfusion centre was shelled. We had just left the centre, and we were shelled by Russian occupants. And my brother died on the second day.
The United Nations says the number of refugees who have fled Ukraine has now surged past 2 million, describing the flight as one of the fastest exoduses in modern times. Trevor Piper, NTD News.